Right, welcome to Urban Sport 94.5 Urban Radio, and it's the big Champions League day where we have games starting off in the Champions League today. It's going to run Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But before then, let's look at results from last night in the Spanish La Liga. Espanyol defeated Mallorca 3-2. It ended between the two sides. Yes, it was heavily competitive, but then it ended 3-2. All right, for Hellas Verona and Cremonese in the Italian Serie, it ended in a goalless draw. Como and Genoa played a 1-1 draw. That was in Italy. So that result gave them that 1-1 game, and you expected maybe Como should have done better in the game, especially playing at home, but then they couldn't win today's game, and it ended like that for Como. So that bit of it for the games played yesterday. But the Champions League starts today, and we are ready for the drama of the Champions League once again. Uefa Champions League start today, and yes, our introduction to the Champions League and the look at games set to be played today. Yeah, the Champions League begins today. Alright, for the Champions League match is set for today. Athletic Club will meet Arsenal for the first time in the Champions League by 5:45 today. The same time, PSV Eindhoven will take on Union Saint-Gilloise. Also by 5:45, Benfica will play against Karabakh FK by 8 p.m. tonight. Juventus and Borussia Dortmund. What a bad time to play against Juventus because they're in blistering form in Turin. The game is by 8 p.m. tonight. Alright, for Real Madrid, they will be back in the Champions League today against Marseille, having won all their games so far under Xabi Alonso in the Spanish La Liga, and they will take on Marseille, has conceded 2 defeats already in the French league this season. Tottenham Hotspur with Thomas Frank having a taste of the Champions League for the first time will be at home against Villarreal by 8 p.m. So the game is perfectly poised. Athletic Club against Arsenal. That game is by 5:45 today. And for Arsenal, coming off a blistering performance against Nottingham Forest, have been getting a lot of accolades because of their performance. And one player, took his form in the international window straight into Arsenal's wing, and he flew throughout that game against Nottingham Forest. Talking about Noni Madueke, yes, there's been a lot of conversations about how good he's played so far, especially in the last 3 games against Liverpool, his game against for England at the Euro qualifiers, at the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, the European Series, and also playing against Nottingham Forest. And they're asking, is Bukayo Saka not going to fight for his shirt when he comes back? Is he going to work into the team automatically, looking at their performance? And for Arsenal, they paraded a different front three for what we've seen so far, from what we've seen in the last 2-3 years, because we had Gyökeres on the score sheet in that game. You have a beautiful assist from Iberechi Eze, who also tasted his first start for Arsenal. And of course, Noni Madueke was mesmerizing in that game throughout. The last time Arsenal and Athletic Club met was in the preseason, and that was the very first goal that Victor Gyökeres got his ever goal. First game that Victor Gyökeres got his ever goal for Arsenal. The game ended 3-0. 2 of the goal scorers from that game would not be available tonight. You're talking about Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz, who is out with a knee injury. That game ended 3-0, and Mikel Arteta once again talking about how important it is for them to win the Champions League this time around, and looking at the demons of crashing out in the semi-finals against PSG, especially at the Emirates Stadium. Mikel Arteta wants something different, and a lot of pundits are saying that Arsenal need to win the Champions League and the Premier League. In fact, more importantly, the Premier League, because they've not won the Premier League in over 20 years, and within that space, Liverpool has won the Premier League 2 times. Manchester City has reigned supreme in the Premier League. Leicester City have also won the Premier League, and Chelsea, Antonio Conte, visited England, won the Premier League, left and gone to Italy to win the Scudetto also. For Mikel Arteta, he has been presented with every single material in it, in terms of quality depth, in terms of squad depth, and now he needs to be the perfect chef to cook just the perfect food for Arsenal fans. The ingredients are there now. He needs to start winning title. Right, let's get here from Mikel Arteta. Talk about the game that's going to be played this evening against Athletic Club.
The teams that they have done the same, and they continue to do that, and they've won it in many occasions. That's the aim in the beginning, but we all know that it's going to be a really long journey. The margins in this competition are super small, and you have to be at your very best from day one to give yourself the best possible chance. That we are good enough that we can compete against any opposition on the day. And on top of that, two things have to go your way. You need to have a full squad available when it comes to the most critical moments in the season, and then as well when the ball has to go in the right moment or with the right decision, it has to be as well, because the margins are so small. Well, when we were training, we had 8 or 9 fit players, and we're going to games with 13 players, and at that level it's extremely difficult, but I think even with that condition we did really well. We gave ourselves an unbelievable chance, and we were very unlucky in the semi-final not to get through. Well, it is that, and that moment you get deflated, and you have to understand what you need to do to put yourself back in the same position and start actions actually that matter to give yourself the chance to achieve that. And that's it. You take a lot of learnings from it. It's painful because it's not only what we feel, it's about the expectation that we created and the real conviction that we had within the club, the team, that we could go all the way, because we showed a very high level of consistency and quality throughout the competition, and learn from it and try to be better.
Alright, they don't have a choice but to be better, and they need to start with a win today in the Champions League group phase so that they can automatically qualify for the second round. David Raya, the most standard keeper in the Premier League, 2 seasons now he's won the best keeper in the Premier League in 100 matches. Now for Arsenal, he has 42 clean sheets, better than any keeper in this time, especially in the last 2 years. This is what he had to say about the game that's going to commence today. Yes, he has a lot of Spanish friends, and they are going to be playing in Spain. Considering the number of Spanish players that Arsenal, the likes of Marino in Arsenal, Lucas Zubimendi, David Raya, yes, he's happy to go back home to play against Athletic Club.
I think it was just or maybe 2 years ago that I made my debut against Everton, and from there it's been incredible, you know, being part of this football club and having that record as well, 100 games with 42 clean sheets is incredible. But that just goes to the credit to the team, to the staff, that how hard we work to try and defend us the most better as possible to try and win games. Yeah, we did an incredible campaign last year. We were short. We lost against PSG, the current holders of the Champions League. So we want to aim higher this season, and that's what we want to do. Well, the new signings, they have a key role just to improve the squad, to improve the depth, especially what happened last season with the injuries that we had and the depth. It was a little bit short, and then the club did a magnificent job to recruit a lot of players, really good players, and they're going to be a key part of the success of this club. Well, we know we are Arsenal, and competition is all over the place. You always have, and you need competition to take out everything good in each player, and that competition is very, very, very healthy. You know, Kepa and me, we have a really good relationship. We know each other from the national team, and it's a pleasure to share the dressing room with him.
They think of Champions League winner and Club World Cup winner Kepa Arrizabalaga as on the bench as second choice goalkeeper for Arsenal. Talks about his squad depth and quality of the side. Alright, for Thomas Frank, he's hit the ground running crazily in the Premier League, with Tottenham winning 3 of their last 4 matches in the Premier League, and they are in the Champions League tonight. They're going to take on a very strong side. Look at the acquisition so far this season. Xavi Simons, important in their last game, and an assist in that game. You look at Mohamed Kudus playing massively on the wings, and Pape Metasa has been that orchestrator, that orchestra. He's been that massive defensive midfielder, the box-to-box midfielder, and is influencing the team, popping up with 1 or 2 goals. Can't go unnoticed. They are playing tonight against Villarreal, and for Villarreal, Jose Perez, one man who was named the Spanish La Liga Player of the Month, Nicolas Pepe, will be hoping to play against his former enemy when he was, the player on the wing for Arsenal. Nicolas Pepe is hoping to show his quality today. All right, let's get here from Thomas Frank. Talk about the game against Villarreal. It's going to be tasting Champions League action. Yes, after Anpos Postecoglou took them to the Champions League, Thomas Frank has taken over in the era where we don't have Danny Levy as the man in charge anymore of Tottenham. Let's get here from Thomas Frank. Talk about what he's expecting to happen in that game against Villarreal.
Huge respect for Marcelinho. I think he's done a top job. We can see his team is well structured, well organized the way they play. They like to dominate as much as possible on the ball, and I've been impressed with what I've seen, and it's going to be a good challenge. I think in general I'm a person who's open for different things. I saw it from the outside last year. Now I need to try it and live it. For now, I think it looks interesting and promising. I think no matter where the format, it's a Champions League game tomorrow. We're looking forward to that, and we'll do everything we can to win it. I don't focus on that. I focus on one thing. Let's see if we can beat Villarreal tomorrow. That's the most important thing. So after that, we're playing, I can't remember, Brighton, I think, and then one game at a time.
09160059545, 091600495. Those are the numbers to call to talk to us this morning about what you're expecting in the Champions League. Arsenal fans, you guys are happy and enjoying life with the quality that you have. Just think about an Arsenal team without Martin Odegaard. He's not going to be available tonight, but Bukayo Saka, Kyle Havertz, and Gabriel. Yes, you're talking about Gabriel Magalhaes already forming a strong partnership with Mosquera, and this is Saliba not available, and Arsenal fans are not panicking. That's really strange because we know what they suffered in the last few years. So to compete at the highest level, you need squad depth, you need players that can always replace the other top players without dropping off in the games. Good morning to you. Yes, your name and location.
Peter,
all right, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you. Today I'm supporting Arsenal. I know that I'm cases on that. Arsenal is going to win today's match because Arsenal have everything to win. They have the score. If you are talking about the Premier League, the club I'm thinking that is going to win Premier League. Arsenal, they have from their defense to the attack, they are complete. They are complete more than Liverpool. So they are not money matter. Nobody should start footballing now. No one I have a league to Arsenal. I started like this, let us not.
I get it. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. 09160059545. Also today for the EFL Cup third round, Brentford will take on Aston Villa by 8 p.m. Crystal Palace against Millwall also by 8 p.m. Sheffield United will host Grimsby Town, the team that slaughtered Manchester United by 7:45 today. 09160059545, 091600495. Those are the numbers to call. 091289459 09162005945. If you want to talk to us on WhatsApp, reach out to us on 09128945945. All right, that's it. 09162005945. You're looking at the game for Real Madrid. Also, they will be in action. They will be playing against Marseille. Marseille have lost 2 of their games in the league this season. Real Madrid have won all their matches. Kylian Mbappe is leading that team right now. Dani Cavani is back, is taking his pace. Didn't even allow Trent Alexander-Arnold to settle at Real Madrid. You also look at Jude Bellingham returning into the Real Madrid squad and considering the massive partnership, the telepathic partnership between Arda Güler and Kylian Mbappe. So for Real Madrid tonight, it's a game that they must win, you know, to reassure the fans that they are the real championship league after they were embarrassed by Arsenal in the semi-finals, in the quarter-finals last season. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, Ribalida, go ahead.
I want to ask, what is the reason why FIFA really don't want to look at that
Rebel leader, I really don't know why. I'm going to, because there's been a lot of reactions to that. But I know for sure that if you're going to launch an appeal, the Lesotho, as in this case, should have done that. I think the first 4 hours of the match, it should have been in a report, and I'm not sure they did in the first 4 hours of the game. I'm not sure they did under 24 hours. So maybe that's why, because there are rules guiding this kind of appeal. And so did you hear Lesotho talk about it at all? They've not been clamoring. It's the teams that are starting to benefit from it. The Benin Republic, for example, or Nigeria, they've been talking about that sanction going, you know, for South Africa. 09162005945. Good morning to you. Hello. Yes, your name and location. All right, go ahead.
I think it's useless. It's meaningless to talk about reduction of points for South Africa, because we cannot catch up with them. So I don't think if FIFA decide, they know their reason. I think they are not partial. If actually they committed offense, they should have been sanctioned. So let's take our eyes away from the reduction of points from South Africa. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you very much. 09162005945. Last night, not even last night, was yesterday afternoon. You look at Tobi Amusan won the first medal for Nigeria, for Team Nigeria, the World Athletic Championship going on in Tokyo. Yes, she couldn't get the gold medal, but she got silver medal. And yes, the race was very tight. Considering how bad she performed at the Paris Olympics last year, where she couldn't even get to the final, but she stepped up her performance, and it was thanks to she registered under Coach Glenn Mills. Yes, she worked with Coach Glenn Mills, who is one of the most effective coaches in the sport. 3 Jamaican 100-meter world champion under his belt, talking about Coach Glenn Mills. Usain Bolt, Johan Blake, and Oblique Seville just won the men's 100 meters at the Tokyo World Athletic Championship. For Tobi Amusan, she had to, train with a new coach entirely after last year's performance, and it paid off. She came in second against Cambodia. It was a very tight race. She lost by 0.5 seconds. But let's get here from Tobi Amusan, talk about that victory, what she had to put into it, and also, the training she had with Coach Mills. So that's let's get here from Tobi Amusan, who just won silver for Team Nigeria at the World Athletic Championship in Tokyo. The last time she visited Tokyo, that was in 2021. She came fourth, but this time around she won silver.
I know y'all hate to hear this, but it's been God, my team, and I'm just here doing the work. My goal today was to come out here and execute, and I told myself I ain't living here without a medal. I know nobody likes to see me, but I'll take it. Honestly, when I'm huddling, I don't see to my left, but on the last huddle, I knew there was someone there.